Yeah, it should be dope.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
At some point, I probably will get home and I gotta go to my garage, so I may lose service, but I'll let you know when I get home.
Okay, for sure, for sure. Thank you, everybody. Yeah.
Salute, salute. Bomani, salute.
What's up? What's up?
T Rose, you boomed the other room, T Rose, and brought everybody here?
Yeah, but everybody good. You good to go, bro.
Okay, for sure. How's my mic sound?
You sound good.
Sweet, sweet. Hey, welcome to Trolls Nation. If you're new to the room, welcome. This is the Trolls Nation room on the Clubhouse app. If you're on stage or in the audience would like to come up, make sure that you troll up top, hit the greenhouse, join the club, follow the moderators on stage. You see what's going on. You see what's going on. Crazy. We've been anticipating this, and we finally got him in the building, and we definitely finna get it rocking, man. So I'm gonna let the room build up a little bit more, and we're gonna get started. Now, for people who asked earlier, was it Boo or Bo? It's Boo, correct?
Yeah, yes, boo.
Yeah, he explained that Swahili, right? You said warrior,
Mighty Warrior. Yep.
mighty warrior. There we go.
Habari, my brother, Habari.
Back to at you.
Hit him with that Swahili.
It's just the name.
He tried to have a full blown combo with you. Brother said, respect, respect. All right, man. Y'all see what it is? Icon Bomani X invades Trollz Nation room. You know what I mean? So salute to this brother, man. So pretty much, man. Let us know who you are and what you do for people who may not know, who may not be familiar with the app, may not be in tune with music and things like that. Let us all know, man, who you are, man.
um, yeah. Like I said, Bomani X, guitarist, singer, songwriter, producer. Um, Day job in like digital marketing, digital strategy. Ended up being literally like a year ago today, or taking the app icon photo for Clubhouse with a homie in the DMV area. Uh, was the Clubhouse icon for 2 months or so, and yeah, just been chilling on the app, doing
And
cool
that was
shit
the
with my
crazy
boys.
part. I seen that. It said yes. Well, this was yesterday when I read it. It said today, 1 year ago today, I took the photo for the for the icon. So, and to have you on the app yesterday, man. Well, are you always on the app, or it was just kind of like your 1 year anniversary, and you just decided to jump on and see what the app was looking like, or are you always on the app still?
Oh, you mean like am I still on here now, like on a regular
Yeah, yeah.
basis? Oh yeah, mostly in like social rooms with the homies or like private rooms. And I'll occasionally like, open up rooms in my club, play guitar still. Um, but definitely not as like super frequent as I used to be.
Okay, okay. And how many black icons have they actually had for Clubhouse prior to you?
Uh, Four.
4. That's major.
Uh, the first one was this dude named Kiko. The second one was this lady named Julie. Then me, and then Meezy.
Man. So when they first approached you about putting your face as the icon, man, what was that like to be acknowledged for the work that you was doing on the app and outside the app, and being a public figure, like you became like an influential figure through social media. What was that like for them to approach you and say, hey man, we want to use your face for the icon?
I mean, at first, to be honest, like no lie, like I mean, like I joined the app in July, so like to be honest, like the app was just really in like a different place. Like it was just a lot more chiller. It was like probably only like 6,000 people. So like, and especially like after seeing like Stephanie who works for Clubhouse and Kiko and Julie and all them like become the icons, like, and seeing how much like it wasn't really that big of a deal to them and to the community, like, and because I was doing like so much shit on here, like when they asked me, I didn't honestly at the time I didn't really think too much of it.
Okay.
But literally like a week or so after being an icon, the app like literally starts blowing up. Millions and millions of people start getting on the app, and then like so the context was like drastically different, and like I was like, oh shit, like I'm really on like a bunch of people's phones. It's kind of weird. Niggas that don't know me are like all of a sudden, trying to speak to me for whatever reason. A lot more people started, getting more awareness of like my music and like and appreciating like shit I was already doing. So it was, it was cool in the sense of like I I in hindsight I'm glad that I got recognition for something that like I'm more proud of versus like accidental, like going viral off of like a moment that I didn't really give a fuck about. So that part was like really cool, and yeah, it was life changing for sure.
Nah, definitely, definitely. And when you first downloaded the app, what was your original intentions with the app? Because you said it wasn't that really many, that it wasn't really that popping at that point. What was your intentions when you first got on?
When I first got on, uh, I didn't have no like real super intentions. Like like obviously it's like a pandemic. Like the fact that like we're all stuck in a house and like like not really being able to interact with people. When I first got on the app and I just heard people talking and speaking and seeing people from like all over the world, like I really just felt like it was a space to kind of just like feel human, inside my house. And like just being able to connect. And like at the time, like there were also like a really good amount of black people. So like just connecting with black people, that kind of are in like the tech slash music world, like it kind of just like felt like a really cool networking app to kind of like set up some like potential plays like once the pandemic is over. But then it really just developed into like a platform where like I really started meeting really cool, genuine people and staying up all night, having fun. Uh, and yeah, and it just became like a place that I just decided to just frequently visit every day, like most people.
No, no, no. That definitely, definitely, that's lit. Hey, trolls, refresh y'all screen and screenshot my PTR and put that as y'all PTR, man. We going up, man. We going up.
Got you.
Y'all already know what time it is. Go to screenshot that, make that y'all profile pic. So,
Yes, sir.
so see, this is the crazy part, man. When I first heard about the app, I really didn't know too much about it. I really didn't know how to approach it. When you created the room, you're the one that created the Cotton Club room, correct?
Yeah.
What inspired you? Because I know the history of the Cotton Club, Duke Ellington, Harlem. What was your inspiration for coming up with the name, and what was the intentions for the room?
I mean, like at that time, like of Clubhouse, like and probably still like how it is the same to today, where like it's not always intentional, but there's like a really clear divide between like quote unquote what's acceptable, like normal type of like content or behavior on the app versus like people that use the app just to like shoot the shit or just chill and relax and like. And at the time, I had like a really cool friend group of people that like we would just come on the app late at night, we'd just be chilling, you know talking shit, playing music, doing whatever, and like we really kind of use like our friend group and to kind of escape, quote unquote, the boring side of Clubhouse or the tech side of Clubhouse. So we would just be up like at all hours of the night. And then one day, um, I was like playing my guitar in like in the background of the conversation, and like somehow the conversation started shifting to music and jazz, and then like one of the homies just ended up like switching their profile photo to like a jazz musician. And then all of a sudden, like we all just started doing that, and we all just started listening to music, chilling, as just like an escape from like what was going on in the hallway, which was probably like some like weird racist white people stuff. Um, so then like after that, like I was like, yo, this is like really fun. Like I really enjoyed this moment. Like it made me feel like, you know, that I'm not just at home. Like it made me feel like something dope. So me and my homie Kadir, I was like, yo, we should do this again next week. I put it on the calendar. Me and Kadir were like splitting DJing, and we kind of like made this like rule that like, hey, if you want to like come up on stage, you got to read the room, change your profile photo to a black and white image of a jazz musician. And I, kind of like playing along with this like fantasy escapism. We just created this like club environment on the app where everyone was literally only using it to have like conversations. It kind of was something that we thought was cool to just stand out. And yeah, literally, we just like did it that one Wednesday, and we did it for over a year straight.
Man, that's lit. That's lit. And that's kind of the same way when I got to the app. I wanted to I wanted to be something like I wanted to create a platform where people could come, relax. We could have controversial topics, debates, events, games. Like I didn't want to just use it as a shoot the shit room. No disrespect to rooms that you know what I mean, where they just sit there and they just I'm at the store right now. Oh fuck you. Like I wanted to definitely make it major, man. So hearing your story, man, is definitely confirms, man, that Trollz Nation, man, that we might be on the right path. We might have something good going here. So and now I seen that you've worked with a number of artists. Now, when I see people work with artists, it can be two things. Either they're writing the lyrics for these people or they're musicians and they're doing the music. Name some of the artists that you've worked with and let us know how you've worked with them in which aspect.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. Even though I am a musician, my work with musicians are non-music related, unfortunately,
Oh,
uh, right now. Um, Hopefully that'll be the case. But yeah, like background on me, like um, yeah, like I went to Howard as an artist, and then like kind of like realized I've always like appreciated like social media, technology, tech. And like I always felt like a way to bridge into or finesse into that industry was just like providing a skill that I know I had that most people didn't. So yeah, like in college, like I worked with a lot of like people that work for like the Blueprint label. So like Wayne, Nikki, Joe Scott. When I moved to California, like working with like Eve, Antonique Smith, Paul Abdul, Wyclef, and just like being like a digital strategist for artists, brands, different creators, and just learning how to like use social media both to like grow an audience, monetize, and like grow community. So I worked with a lot of people on that front. But like
through lit
at a
spins,
you said again.
through your company, lit spins, or just independently.
Independently, Listens was a random second idea that I had. But yeah, just like independently, like I've always just been like an independent freelancer, just in terms of like working with people and growing their platforms and social media presence and always like applying like new tech as a solution for that. And then like at some point, I kind of got bored and tired of that and like wanted to kind of just apply all my skill sets and stuff that I knew to myself and like really, be the artist that I really wanted to be. So I stopped, working with other people and kind of just like focus more on myself, which was kind of the origin of like how I fell into Clubhouse and took it really more serious than most people did.
Damn. So how long did you have to really grind hard on the app until eventually you started to see like, okay, shit is starting to buzz, it's starting to make sense, opportunities are starting to open up, or were all those the opportunities and things already buzzing before Clubhouse? Because I know some people already had a wave, and then some people, kind of get their wave started here.
Um, I would say like a mixture of both, where like a lot of things that I did on the app were reflective of things that I was either interested in or have tried out in different capacities in the real world before the app. Like most people know of me because of like the jam sessions and stuff I do on here, and like I used to have this whole like jam session like event thing in LA. Um, when I first got on the app, before I even ever played music, I used to do like astrology and like natal chart readings for people, um, which was already like a side passion of mine. But like bringing it to the app like allowed me to like make money very early on before like people even realized they could make money on the app. Um, so like there were obvious things that was doing before, but just the fact that like I got way more exposure and discoverability by like applying all that stuff here and grinding on here, definitely provided way more opportunities um, than I ever had in this past year alone compared to the last few years, that I'm definitely grateful for and really thankful.
Nah, for sure, for sure. Man, refresh your screen, man. Look at that, man. Go on and screenshot that, man. We going crazy, man. So you from LA, or you from the East?
From New York, went to college in DC, graduated, moved out to Oakland for a bit, and lived in LA for a bit, and now I'm back in DC.
Okay, hell yeah, that's lit. That's lit. T Rose, you there?
Yes, sir.
T Rose, all right, it's on you, buddy.
Yes, sir. Bomani, how you doing, my brother?
Good, good, chilling.
Yes, sir. So I wanted to know, with you doing music, what are some of the artists that influenced you, growing up?
I mean, definitely as a guitar player, like artists like Hendrix, Prince, Eric Clapton, you know, bands like uh, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Guns N' Roses, classic rock mix of like classic neo soul R&B. As a guitar player, definitely influenced me. I would say now as a singer songwriter, um, you know, modern singers like Frank Ocean, Leon Bridges, Gary Clark Jr., um, mixed with like uh, James Brown. Like a lot of those people are like uh, Marvin Gaye, or like a lot of people that like I listen to as I try to like shape my sound and identity in some ways.
No, that's dope. That's dope. So, with you having your success from Clubhouse, being the face of Clubhouse, has any artist, musician gave you any words of wisdom of with you being on your music journey? Have you talked to anyone that gave you that any game?
Yeah, and I think that was like the beauty of of this app, to be honest. Like I remember this one crucial moment that probably honestly made me stay on the app was like very early on in like July. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm just chilling. This is like I'm on the app and I go hop in this room um with people that ended up, I'm cool with now. This dude Q and this lady Jenny Flower, and like, and she's like, a manager, industry exec, yada yada, has a resume, blah blah, and I remember just like having like a very casual conversation, and like I'm sitting literally in my living room on my lap, like playing my guitar, talking to them, and yeah, she was like really just giving me like some real genuine, authentic advice. Like she let me play, I played my song for her live, and she was just like, yeah, like the whole nature of this game is really just being like authentic with who you are and your voice, and catering to your community. Um, and that one moment definitely stuck with me throughout my entire like being here on the app. With a lot of people have echoed the same advice. Like at the end of the day, like being an artist is really about like how do you just apply who you really are, both in your music and just in like in your overall packaging and your brand, and how you connect with people, and like just being true to yourself. Um, and that's been like the biggest advice that I get across the board that like honestly sticks with me.
No, that's
Like,
dope. That's dope. So with you making music, is there anything that you're working on now that you might be releasing in the future? And another question was, um, what platforms can they be looking for your music?
I am working on some new music. I'm like very shitty at like keeping myself accountable, and 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 having the structures placed around me where I have like the right type of discipline to like finish out certain things. But yeah, I'm working on projects, working on music. Um, I don't have anything out like on any like public platform that people can check out. Mostly people that know of my stuff is because of here, or Instagram, or other things where they catch me live. But yeah, definitely like tap in. Like I'm gonna be releasing a song soon and a project like early next year. Uh, but yeah, I got some stuff on the way for sure.
Yeah, no, that's
Yo,
dope. That's dope. And another question, what age did you take liking to playing the guitar?
So I've been playing for like a little over 10 years now, and I think I started like maybe junior year, sophomore year of high school. So about like 16, 15, 16 years old. Um, I'm 28 now, so yeah, about a little over 10 years.
Yo, Bomani. Sorry to that. I needed to interrupt you there. Um, to be honest, I don't even know you. I just went on your Instagram, and the first thing that like just like shined out to me is like your aura, and like your pictures are like just showing me, I don't know, a certain vibration, Like I look at your picture, you like the way you talk, you cool, calm and shit like that. Like I went to your Instagram, you have that same energy. And first of all, I respect motherfuckers that just like experiment with instrumentals and vocals and try to take it to the highest capacity that a human can consume. And I went through your videos, and I didn't have like enough time to go through it, but that's just the fucking shit that I got from your profile. And like my question is now, in the world that we're living in, we're in 2021, and we're going through fucking pandemics, and people forcing us to, okay, not forcing us, people telling us to get vaccinated, and we're thinking about our families and all that BS, and it's been happening for 2 years. Like, um how do you like block the channels, or the energies that are coming from those mediums? And because like being a musician, you need to be in your own channel, in your own lane, and in your own zone. And For the fact that I went on your Instagram, I didn't know you, and that's the shit that just fucking, just got it into my face. I just like really need to know that because I'm like struggling um between the real world and what I'm facing and like my artistic world. There's a difference because once you lay down your instrument, your guitars and everything, and you go out, that's the real world. But once you take your electric guitar and start to play and you start, going your auto tune, then you're in your own universe. So my only question is that, like, really genuinely, how do you channel that shit out?
Well, one, I appreciate you checking out my stuff and getting a vibe that resonates with you and you fucking with it. That's dope. In terms of like my natural process to to stay in a space that's like, ideal for me. I don't know, like I don't know fully like if it's like purposeful or it's like calculated. Like I do know I do have like, whether you consider it good or bad, like habits of like being really detached and not necessarily limiting the comfortability that I like have when I view the world when I'm in my art form or when I'm making music, but like that's just like my general scope of like the world I live in. Like I don't I don't tend to get so bogged down on viewing the world outside of the lens I want to, which is, pretty like a world that has like the ability to be, really creative or like really passion filled, but just unfortunately, not unfortunately, but just filled with people that like, you know, don't see it that way or are getting bogged down by the realities of life and the shit that really happens in people's real life. And and for me, I just try to like center myself that like at the end of the day, like I'm doing this so I can see the world the way I want to see it. Um, so I can't just like rely on my music and art to get that feeling. Like I have to like also apply that to like every day. Um, not saying like that's like a good thing because um, sometimes I can put people in really false realities and not necessarily be in tune with what's really going on. So I try to keep like a healthy balance. Like at the end of the day, like I go through shit, everyone goes through shit, and like real things happen, and that groundedness about like where the world and society is today just only like inspires me to like do what I can or connect with the people I can to just try to make a better world in the way I see fit. And I kind of use like music or my sense of creativity as like that anchor point. And also, most times I just don't give a fuck.
Shit.
It's like if
Um,
it's not that deep, then don't make it that deep.
um, why I'm asking you that because you were talking about being grounded, and like the thing about you is that you were telling us that you've made records for successful people, and once you get on that stage, you know more on that grounded stage, and for myself, I felt like I had to self sabotage myself to get on the ground level. And then again goes back to me checking out your Instagram. Like you're on that ground level, and like you've worked with big artists, and once you're on that stage, like more on the ground. So for you to get back to the inspiration or the energy, you have to cut yourself. And I'm talking about myself, but like I'm interested to know like what a person like you does in that instant to be in tune or in sync with that ground level energy.
I don't know. I just think like it really is a balance. Like at the end of the day, like yeah, we'll everyone has like different moments of like elevation or like or growth. But like there's points where you gotta like check yourself and realize that like, your growth today is really just like stagnation tomorrow. And like, you know, being appreciative and being happy with, the moments that make you feel purposeful and make you feel joyous and and being proud of your like accomplishments and your successes and the people around you are 100% important. But like, um you got to know that like what you did yesterday is literally what you just did yesterday, and like, what can you do today, or what can you strive to do tomorrow. And I think like reminding yourself that, or checking your ego, is important, um to constantly just be in a mode of like creation. uh yeah, hopefully that answered your question. Kind of just like
Thanks.
spitballing.
Thank you. You can go ahead, Tiro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bomani, it was a question in the back channel. Um, it says, "What advice would you give creators, black creators on Clubhouse today, far as the new creators? Like, what advice would you give them, far as making content and how to go about things?"
um I think personally for me, like, I've I viewed very early on, I viewed Clubhouse as not a typical, platform, but more so like an opportunity to be like an extension of like the world you live in, or or the world you want to be in. And like I think there's so much power when it comes to voice and it comes to audio. And I think people at first limit themselves to the possibilities that can exist in this space, and they kind of just like gravitate towards like what you're used to, and kind of just like falling suit. But like I really believe that like this platform, when you like really put like a creative lens, you could really create some like really cool stuff. Like even just like with the Cotton Club, like, at the end of the day, on paper it's just a room of like people listening to music, changing their profile photos, and like, granted, on paper it's not that special, but like the intention behind, like, no, I want to make like a digital environment. I want to make like a digital club. I want to make this a space that has resemblance of things that we're all used to in the real world, and curate the stage, or curate the aesthetic, to match that. Even when, um last year when we were doing like the production of like The Lion King, like how do we turn Clubhouse into like a live theater? Or like when my homies have like soap operas or performances or concerts, like, like, how do you just turn Clubhouse into a venue, and then like how do you shape the content around it? And that's kind of like my natural approach of like, I think how people can stand out on this place. I mean, on Clubhouse. Um, I'm not the one to say like one content is better than the other, because, but I'm more so like, how do you take what you're good at or what you want to do, and just make it cooler and something that's super unique. And that's just like,
Hell yeah.
you know.
No, facts, facts. Yeah, have you been to this room previously, like, or known about this room on the app?
Personally, I have not.
Okay.
I think I randomly stumbled on it the last time we were in here. Um, and y'all were clowning my name, and saying I bought my followers. I'm just fucking with you.
Shit.
No, I'm just fucking with you.
Yes.
But no, I immediately like, I think I think what I've seen really be cool. Like at the end of the day, people have been forming like really dope, tight knit communities. And I think like the fact that like y'all all had like the same profile photos and seem like well uniformed really stood out as like I think the beauty of what this app can become when you are intentional behind it and like you know you really have like a new form squad, and I think that concept is dope for what you can do with it.
No, for sure, for sure. Yeah, definitely the room. Definitely a different one. Tons of controversial topics and debates. Um, Tons of great dialogue and just it's become something way bigger than just a club room. It's like the type of discussions and type of topics is usually revolved around gangs, street politics, snitches, informants,
Yep.
um, people holding on to street codes and street rules, and people, going to jail for all these periods of time, and just, and a lot of people from the streets have came in and solidified the room and spoke great things about the room. um, we do have our trolling moments. I know the name may seem kind of like what the fuck's going on, but we troll in a good way. A lot of people don't understand what that means. Trolls. You got a bad way to troll, like posting up people's dead grandma or some crazy shit, and then you got the good way to troll, like with jokes and changing our PTRs over to a picture we might find of a person on Instagram or Facebook, just shit like that. But it's all done in love, and we've been to many other rooms and support and show love. Like I tell them, on this app, like we gotta like have some type of relationship. It shouldn't be looked at as competing with other rooms. It should be more like, why aren't we networking? As black content creators, which there's a lot of us, we have all these great aspects and all these great rooms and things, but being able to come together and stand firm. So when maybe sponsorships and things of opportunity will come our way, we can actually say, hey, we have 5 rooms. This one holds this amount. We can promote this. We can advertise this. If you guys will, of course, some type of monetization to be able to make some type of money. Um, but yeah, so me being so new, 3 months, going on 4 on Clubhouse. When I came, it was very chill and very relaxed. I feel like this room kind of stirred up Clubhouse for the people who follow all the similar type rooms. Um, and the reason so is because you know first off, the logo it's it catches your eye. It draws a lot of attention. Of course, you see the 6ix9ine shark in the background, so you're like, okay, what the hell? And then you come in the room, and then you get to talking to the people, and then you see like, okay, it's a lot of real motherfuckers on this app behind the screen. It's not just about a profile pic. It's not about just you know what a person may view will may be under the impression of based off the name of the room or the name of the person. Like, look at the names we have on stage. You got somebody on stage named Trollz. He's the fucking founder. Sometimes he's T Rolex, you know. So it's definitely it's definitely one of
Bow.
those things where people are just like, hey, what the hell is this? What's going on? But when people give us an opportunity to talk, it's a completely different story. Um, though a lot of our titles may seem like conflictive, where a person may come in with the mind state of already being aggressive, our rooms always end on a positive note. It always ends on a positive note. We always advocate that if you don't put yourself in those type of street type positions, and you don't fucking commit crime, you don't gotta worry about no one snitching on you because you're not doing anything wrong. It's a lot of point the finger and with this, well, everything. I think we can all agree. So being able to communicate with the older homies and get their idea on how they view things and what they may have believed in then and what they stand for now is big. So being able to speak, see, I could never do Instagram. I don't know if your Instagram is, was lit or always been lit or lit right now. I don't have Instagram, but every time I've tried to do Instagram, right, I can never do anything with that shit. Like I tell people, like, man, I don't got 10 Louis Vuitton luggage bags leaving France. I don't got a picture of me eating a lobster tail on top of a dolphin's back, sitting out in the motherfucking Bermuda. I don't got none of those type shit going on in my life to make it pop like that. And that's how I always viewed it. But me having a telemarketing background, right, being able to speak on telephones, being on this app was good for me because opposed to you just looking at me and making a judgment based on what you see, being able to speak to me and being able to actually build and see what I have to offer as far as conversation and dialogue, it worked in my favor. Like I can imagine for anyone who has a job where you talk on the phone, you talk to people, like that's what you've done for years. So naturally, being on this app, you should be able to do a number of things. And some people, I can tell just the way they speak. Oh yeah, he said if he goes into he's back. Okay, I thought he went into his garage. You in your
My bad.
garage?
I'm parked outside, but I can wait outside.
Okay, for sure, for sure. So yeah, so being able to communicate like he was saying and talk to people, that worked in my favor. I think more people have grown to fuck with me more on the app, just off voice, opposed to like in person or even needing to see a face. Now, people who know me on the app, they've seen my face, but with Instagram and things like that, where you don't really get to just talk to everyone that's passing through, you have to have something on there that catches people's attention, depending on what your audience is. So that's my that's my conclusion because I was listening and I was doing family duties, so I was listening in what you were saying. So what advice could you offer a new room like us on the Clubhouse app? Me and T Rose we've only had the room for 3 months. What can you offer us that could possibly help us get knowledge, will get recognized by Clubhouse or at least acknowledged or at least shouted out? And what advice do you have for us in regards to monetization?
Um, Advice, I would, I would say that like having a very strong understanding about like not only like the platform that you're like building your community on, but like also like what is your community is like super important. And that's like across the board, that's for like monetization or just like how you think of like ideas to grow or expand. Um, I definitely when it comes to like monetization, like there were concepts and ideas that like, I was experimenting with to make money, very early on that like aren't necessarily like the norm what people would expect, where it's like, oh, the only way you can make money in an app is like through like tips or stuff like that. Like I think being really intentional about understanding both who's in your room and like the connections you're building will allow you to make like bigger plays of like you said, it could be like a brand sponsorship. Someone could be an audience that like has a company and there's, some sort of like symbiotic relationship that works there where, works for both parties. I mean, both parties. Um, Consulting, like knowing the value of like what you do on the app and like how that information, just like from like an educational standpoint, can be of value to brands, companies, other individuals, and like doing a sort of like consulting educational model. Like that's another way that like people don't really. consider as easily. Um, I think Clubhouse also is like a very strong like incubator of like where trends are happening and thoughts and new age conversations where like like even for me like getting in super early into like the crypto or NFT space is really because like being intentional about seeing what's happening on the app and then making those relationships and making the type of plays that work for me in my community first was like really the best way in my opinion of how I was able to like monetize a platform by just like knowing who who's around you. Um, in terms of like growth and
Hello?
recognition. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Did you hear any of that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah, I
heard you.
heard.
You were cutting out.
Okay. My bad. In terms of like growth and like for the community, consistency is definitely important. I think the fact that now Clubhouse has replays, um, plays a really cool opportunity of how you can package your content in your room to be able to grow or to be able to spread to different audiences so you don't always have to do it live. Um, but yeah, like for me, like I think about Clubhouse in terms of like growing, like at the end of the day, like it's not, and it's like a Maya Angelou quote, it's like it's not always going, people not always gonna remember like what you say or what you do, but they're always gonna remember how you made them feel. And I view Clubhouse as like, how can you shape your room where at the end of the day, if someone only comes in here for a minute or stays for the whole time, like how are you shaping what you do here that's gonna make them feel good to want to come back? Whether that's like switching it up, whether that's like, trying a new concept. I don't know. I think just like experiment, like just try new things out. Don't always feel like your success on the app has to be from this like weird validation that you have to be recognized by the team, the clubhouse team, because also that don't really mean nothing to be honest. And for some reasons. But yeah, just like stick to what you're doing, stay consistent, like making sure you understand what your community wants and you don't be stagnant and you just keep growing. I don't know. I'm just putting ideas out there.
You know, those dope ideas. Definitely appreciate you, man. And before we get out of here, can you tell everybody where they can find you on Instagram, your social media? And I also seen that you were co-founder of New Perspective Party. Can you just give more details about that as well?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of socials, I am Bomani X is pretty much across the board everywhere. Um, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, other platforms I'm on. Um, I do also have like my own crypto coin called BooCoin.
Explain that one.
Have,
I'm sorry. That's dope.
um,
That's a big deal.
yeah, so like very heavily into like both blockchain, crypto, like the Web3 space. So like yeah, I have like my own social token, cryptocurrency, in which like is like the main like currency for like that I use both for like how I receive tips or sell certain things that I do or just like also how I'm able to like reward people in my circle. Um, that is that and a bunch of other things. But what was the other question? Shit, I'm blanking out.
I know the other question. I see that you was a or you are the
Oh yeah, New
CEO
Perspective
of. Yeah,
Party.
yes sir, yes
Yeah,
sir.
So yeah, New Perspective Party and like Lit Spins, or like other side projects. New Perspective Party is this in-home concert um jam session event thing that I do where I just host like in-house concerts or teach people how to reimagine their physical space. Um most people, use their home or their physical space for like one particular thing, but like um, we create events that kind of like reimagine, like, instead of your living room just being a living room, like how do you turn your living room into, something that can be a source of income or a source of entertainment for yourself or other communities. And that's kind of what like New Perspective Party is all about. And then Lit Spins is just this vinyl and book subscription box service that pairs like classic albums and books based on like thematic similarities that I run on the side sometimes. But yeah, I do a lot of things that I don't 100% always give 100% my focus to, but uh, I just like doing shit.
No,
Hell
that's
yeah.
dope. That's dope. CEO.
All right, boom. All right, well, shit, man. Hey, we appreciate you pulling up, man. We're not gonna take too much of your time, um, man. Yeah, so yeah, hopefully, man, we could do our shit, man, just like you did, man, and you know, make a solid name for ourselves, um, especially on this app and maybe other apps too. I know you're familiar with Riff already, right? Riff app.
Yep.
Okay, hell yeah. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of cool apps. Yeah. So hey, maybe soon you'll see Clubhouse shouting us out on their Twitter or some shit. We could say, hey man, we talk to the people, man, that know what they talking about, and they gave us the recipe, man. They gave us better insight because you said some things that I'm not gonna say right now in the pack room, but you gave me some things that I thought about. I said, damn, that those are some strong, valid points, and I don't think we've tapped into those things yet, but shit, they're locked in my brain now, so I can't wait for me and T Rose to talk to the admin and run some ideas out of what we can start doing. So thank you,
Yeah, for
real
sure.
shit.
Yeah, sure. And like I said, I think collaboration on this app is like so untouched. Like there are ways to like blend your content with what other people are doing, and I think that's really the play we all got to consider. So yeah, let me know whatever y'all working on, and if I can provide any ideas to it, let me know.
Oh no, for sure, for sure. No, that's straight. I'm gonna shoot you my line in the back channel. So that's for
Bet.
sure. All right, well
Oh,
shit. Hey, I want to thank everybody for coming out. T Rose, you want to say anything before I
oh yeah,
reset the
yeah,
room?
definitely, definitely, definitely. Just want to get a shout out to Mandy. Mandy is definitely in the building. She was the Clubhouse icon for October, man. So definitely shout out to her for stopping through for in Trollz Nation.
Oh, that is her. Oh, that's active. Um, Damn. When? Oh, she knows him, so that's how she probably found our room. That's pretty
Yeah, no,
dope.
that's dope. That's dope to have two icons, man, in the room. No, that's definitely motivating, man. Hopefully, Trollz Nation can get that too, which would be crazy, but that'd be dope, bro. Appreciate y'all for being here, though.
No,
Yeah, of
that's a
course.
fact. That's a fact. All right, hey, welcome to Trolls Nation. If you're new to the room, welcome. This is the Trolls Nation room on the Clubhouse app. If you're on stage in the audience and would like to come up, make sure that you troll up top, hit the greenhouse, join the club, follow the moderators on stage. Um, Definitely, hey, what it do, Mandy? Am I saying it right, Mandy?
Hey, yes. Sorry, I'm driving, but I just came to listen.
No, that's what's up. That's what's up. Well, shit, while we got you here, um, shit, man, how does it feel to be the icon on here? We just heard from Bomani. So, what's your view on it?
I think it's overrated, but I will say that I've made some awesome friendships because of it. So for that, I'm grateful. But yeah, it's overrated.
Yeah, man, I think that shit is hella dope. That's lit. Like, cause I'm like, damn. Every time someone will go to the app, they see you. It's like, how many people fucking seen you and probably never knew you, but now they've like seen you, like they know who you are now. So that shit is lit, you know.
Yeah, it's cool. It's what you make it for sure. But also like I use it to make some really great friendships. So for that, I'm thankful.
So I imagine doors of opportunity. Some doors have opened up more since then.
Yeah, I've been able to collaborate with a lot more people, just because I've been, invited to more rooms or invited on more stages. So I would say that, and it invited me to also like step into my power and be able to, use my voice more in general. So that was awesome.
Nah, that's hella dope. That's hella dope. And how long have you been on the app?
Ooh,
If
I
you,
joined last October.
oh,
So
okay, hell yeah.
what, a year and 2 months or so?
Yeah, no, that's dope. That's dope. So basically, what I'm getting from you, Mandy, and Bomani is basically,
You are in that
like
aspect.
if you, oh my bad, CEO, you was in Matrix, my bad, bro.
Oh yeah. What made Clubhouse choose you for the icon? Like, how did you catch their attention?
I think there was a couple things. One, it happened to be Latinx Heritage Month, so that was probably one of the things. And I was already working with them. Well, prior to last October when I got on, there wasn't a lot of Latinos on the app. So I created the Latina Mixer every Friday, and I kept doing a lot of like reaching out and inviting them to, the rooms that I was, curating. So that was the first thing, and then for Latinx Heritage Month, I emphasized the importance of collaborating with other Latinx creators, and I provided a list of people who I felt were doing great things on this app, and yeah, they just asked me. But I happen to have the largest Latina group here on Clubhouse, so I'm sure that was part of it. And just, staying authentic and yeah, creating.
Okay, no, that's what's up. Yeah, see, I didn't know any of that. So yeah, nah, that's nice, especially if there wasn't a lot of Latinos on the app. So to have like a room, and kind of like caught their attention. Yeah, no, that's super dope. Is T Rose? Did you want to ask her a question?
Yeah, no, it was just something I took away from it. That after listening to Bomani and Mandy, bro, it was basically like, listen, just because you get the icon, the icon of Clubhouse, don't get too big headed. Just stay level headed. You know what I'm saying? Like take it for what it's worth. You know what I mean? And that's it. Is nothing to be too cocky about. Is what I'm getting from it.
I mean, yeah, I would 100% agree. I mean, and I think that's just for like, like mass visibility in general. Like at the end of the day, like whether like for your own mental health or like or people like constantly being in your business, blah blah blah. Like like yes, visibility has a lot of benefits if you like if you have a goal or like something where you know having more people appreciate what you do is beneficial, but also like you said, there's a flip side of that where niggas can really get on your nerves really quickly, and it can be very emotionally draining, especially like if you now feel like you're representing something that necessarily isn't related to you, like so it can be taxing. So always having a strong support team is important.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. If I ever got to be a fucking icon, man, I want Rock Nation brunch tickets, RSVP. I'm going to, I want in. Fuck, fucking face icon, like shit. There gotta be some perks that come with that shit, right? You know what I mean?
Not the perks.
If
The
you get them,
fucking
let me know.
perks.
Let me know.
Real shit. I want the biggest lobster.
CEO, you in the Matrix. But I mean, but is it that type of perks or like when y'all finally got like when y'all got the icon right? Like did y'all think it came with that? or was it like, like,
I I think I think I think at first, especially when you think about like, being a person of color and being in a, in a white male dominated tech world, there's a bit of like expectations that you think exist in that world, or like, oh yeah, like I'm the face of a $4 billion valuated app, and that comes with like access or a different level of or a lifestyle that you're not necessarily maybe used to or a part of. But then when you really get into that world, you realize like it really don't even be like that. And the structure that you think that they have doesn't really exist. And to be honest, it's just other people living out that hype that make it hype versus like the platform itself actually giving you anything.
mm. Hey, Mandy, is there something you want to add to that? I see you blink your mic, like, no, that's it right there. Like, that's the one.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's like I said earlier, it's pretty much what you make it. I'm sure if I was more proactive, I could have gotten more out of it. But also, if you have a plan, obviously you'll do better. So if that's one of your goals and you think it's attainable, I would definitely try and like set up a okay, this is what I'm gonna do on the moment you gotta like hit the ground running from the beginning. But also as the app changes or progresses or um not in this instance, so like me and Bumani had total different experiences as icon, because when I was icon it was a little bit slower, like the momentum wasn't there. So like I only gained, I don't know, like 3,000 followers or something. Like I think I might have the lowest follower count from all the icons. So it's really is what you make it. And yeah, and how proactive you are in getting to those goals, I would say. But it's not this like, oh, I get to hit a button and all of a sudden get a whole bunch of followers, or oh, like all of a sudden I'm going to be invited to places. Like you still have to establish those relationships, and utilize the resources that you do have in different ways. So they do give you, well, when I was icon they had like somebody for press and they had somebody that you can go to for questions. But I didn't really take advantage of keeping in touch with them as icon. And I'm sure if I did, I would have had a different experience. But I was more focused on creating genuine friendships and relationships. And so that's how I still like won in my eyes. But that might not be a win to you, you know?
You are the press person? Oh shit, I'm jealous now.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Well,
if I didn't want to talk to somebody, I could have like sent them to them, or they could have they, I guess, like they would have seen if it was like a legit opportunity or not. So, yeah.
do you think that's because maybe the algorithm changed when you became icon, or do you think it's because everybody started going back to work and the whole COVID thing was like half and half?
I'm sure it's both. I mean, literally, the algorithm is always changing. I know at one point I was like the number one or two option on Latino clubs, and now like you can't even find it because my club doesn't start with Latina or Latino. So like you have to scroll and scroll. So like as the algorithm changes, and yeah, like I think at the point that I was on, it was just slower paced. So probably a little bit of everything.
Well, salute to you, my fellow chingona. I appreciate you for coming through and showing up. I'm gonna pull up to your room one day and see how y'all get down over there. I seen you guys around. I seen your club. But yeah, I definitely want to do a Q&A with you if you allow that. That's dope. I appreciate that.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, let me know. I'm down.
And also,
Hell
Mandy,
yeah.
I did pin your club up top so people can go follow that as well. Check out Mandy for sure. And I would like to thank you and Bomani for coming to Troll's house, man. And I hope y'all come back again. Check us out when we talking about other topics. Because it's dope to have you guys.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. Make sure everybody troll up top, hit the greenhouse, join the club, follow the moderators on stage. You already know, man, we wrapping this thing up, man. We appreciate everybody pulling up, all the love and support, all the great conversations. Yeah, man, it was a lit one, man. A lot of good information, man. So I hope everyone, had their notebook out, you know what I mean, and jotting this shit down, man, because, this is some real game. No cap, some real game. Hey, shout out to you, Bomani, for pulling up, bro.